Hello and welcome. My name is Michaela Silverthorne, and today I'm going to be talking about what do women need from men. So just in case you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I was born female and I lived as a man for 4 years of my life, transitioning as male, and now I'm back to living as a female. I explain it better in other videos if you're curious about that. But today I'm going to be talking about what women need from men. So, in a short, simple answer, stability and protection. These are the key things that women need from men. We need to feel safe. Now, the first thing I want to get into is that men are the predatory sex. Women are the prey. Meaning, as a man, it's really important that you understand that you are either the villain or the hero to a woman. You are either her protector or her predator. And women don't know which one of those things you are when they first meet you. Meaning, when women first meet you, they have to really get to know you in order to feel safe around you. They can act like they feel safe on the outside, and in actuality feel really insecure and unsafe around you on the inside. Or they might visibly show that they're afraid of you when you haven't done anything. And this is why we are designed this way. And there are great men out there in the world who protect women, who take care of them, who provide that stability that we need. But there are also men who just want to use women, who just want to manipulate us, who just want to put us in a doghouse. And again, we don't know which man you are until you show us. So, as a man, if you want to have a healthy relationship with a woman, or in general with just the women in your life, what do you need to do in order to attract that kind of healthy relationship? And my answer to that is you need to make the women in your life feel safe. And so I have some examples written down here as to how to make a woman feel safe. Because I think a lot of men want to do that, but they have no idea how to go about it. And it's really important to understand her perspective and think about how she's feeling in a situation. Imagine if you were constantly feeling like the prey all the time. What do you want in a situation? Do you want someone, your partner that you're with, to instantly argue back about something? Or do you want them to actually listen to you, even if they don't agree with what you're saying? Sorry, that's a little bit of a rant there. But anyways, so on to the examples that I've written down on what you can do to make a woman feel safe. Come towards her with the intention to get to know her and make her feel safe. This is extremely important. Men who come towards women because they want to gain something, because they want to take something from her, we feel that. Even if we don't acknowledge that feeling, we know. Deep down, we know when you just want to use us, when you just want to get something from us. And for me, it's clear as day when a man just wants to get in my pants, but he's willing to buy me dinner first, just to get there. Right? If you come towards a woman with that mentality of, well, I give you something, so I must be getting something in return, you're going to constantly set yourself up for failure. I get where that mentality can start, as far as you want a relationship to feel equal. You don't want to be putting in all the effort in the relationship. And I agree, you shouldn't be putting in all of the effort. But I also do agree that if you want to show her that you are a safe person to be with, if you want to show her that you are reliable, you can't stand on the sidelines and expect her to come to you. You need to initiate. You need to make that first move. You need to step up. It's so attractive when a guy can actually come up and talk to me. When a guy can look at my face and instead of just calling me pretty or telling me he's nervous, when he actually just makes an effort to get to know who I am. Those are the things that I feel safe with when a guy is showing me that he cares about my personality, he cares about my interests, he cares about what I do in my free time. Now, my next point is you need to be stable within yourself. You can't attract a healthy relationship when you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself. Are you stable within yourself? Do you feel happy spending time with yourself? If you don't love yourself, how can you expect other people to love you? How can you provide nourishment for her if you don't know how to give it to yourself? Do I find the guy on the side of the road with a cup of coins in his hand attractive? No. I find it attractive when a man can actually provide something for me. Again, I don't want to be feeling like the relationship is unequal and like I'm doing everything. And so when a man has nothing to offer to the relationship, when he has no stability, when I don't feel safe with him, I don't want to be in that relationship. If you want women to have a relationship with you and desire you, you need to be desirable. And for each woman, that's going to look a little bit different. But at the end of the day, what we really care about is stability and protection. Those are the number one things that we need from men. Whether that stability be that you inherited your parents' farm or you have lots of money, right? You need to have some form of stability to where you can protect her, that you can have healthy masculine containment, right? If a man has nothing to provide me, then there's no reason why I would want to be in the relationship with him. If he doesn't make me feel safe, if he doesn't make me feel happy like sunlight, I don't want to be in the relationship with him. So can you provide? That's really the first question you should ask yourself before seeking a relationship. What can you provide to the relationship? Because if you're coming up empty-handed, you're not going to find yourself in a happy relationship. And the other person, even if they are healthy themselves, is going to feel burnt out and they're going to want to leave. If you want a woman to stay in your life and to appreciate you, you need to step up. At the end of the day, you need to show her that you're a man, frankly. And I see a lot of guys nowadays have trouble with that, where they are like, I tried giving all my energy to this girl and she didn't like me. So now, and that's just what all women are going to do. When in actuality, another one of my points on here is the whole love bombing thing. If you are love bombing a girl, you are just throwing things at her constantly. Like, you're going to run out of energy. There needs to be a slow, steady pace. You need to have patience, but you need to take action. There's a balance between it, between being a wallflower and being a desperate crazy man, just trying to get a girl's attention. When you're seeking a healthy relationship, you're not looking for it. You're already in that relationship with yourself, and you're attracting another person to come and join you. You're not going to find a healthy relationship until you're in a healthy relationship with you. And this is another problem I've seen with a lot of guys, is the ones who show up, they throw everything at you and then disappear. And then they throw everything at you and then they disappear. Which brings me to another point, is if you want a healthy, happy relationship with a woman, you have to have time for her. You might be like, well, I love my life, I love myself. But if you don't have time for her, there's no reason she should be in your life. In fact, she never will be because you don't have time for her. And that's a big problem I see with guys nowadays, is they are like, yeah, I'm working on my life, I'm so busy. And they'll purposely not message a girl in order to make it seem like they have so much in their life going on. For me, that pushes me away. That makes me feel like, well, you don't value me. You don't care about my time. You don't see me as precious. And it makes me want to leave. It makes me not feel valued. It makes me not want to be in the relationship if you don't have time for me. Time is such a valuable thing. And if you don't have time for a girl, you shouldn't be looking for a relationship, frankly. So, on to my next point. Take her thoughts and fears into consideration. That is something that is so vital. If you're constantly thinking about yourself in the relationship and you're not actually thinking about how to make her feel safe, how she's doing, you shouldn't be in a relationship with a woman if you can't do those things, right? We're very emotional creatures. And again, with the whole predator-prey thing, we need to constantly be reassured that you are there to be the protector, not the predator. You need to constantly show up as the protector. You need to constantly show up as a good man. Because the moment that you make her feel unsafe, the moment that you make her feel scared and intimidated and like she can't trust you, that's the moment the relationship is already over. Even if you are still committed to each other, it's already over when there is no trust. It's very important that you build a girl's trust and that you stick to it. You don't just try super hard at the beginning and then crash. Again, with the whole, it's important to pace yourself. Start things slow. Truly get to know her. And if things don't feel right, don't force it. Not every girl is meant to be with you. So, my next point is be honest and vulnerable. Women can sense when you are not being authentic. When you are not being yourself, when you're pretending to be someone you're not, even if we won't acknowledge it, we can sense that you're not being yourself. And that pushes us away. So if you want to pretend like you have everything together, that you're perfect, deep down we know what you're doing. And we want nothing to do with it. I would rather you tell me straight up that you fell on your face and that you're crying and that you're having such a bad day than just smile and lie through your teeth and say, I'm doing great. Right? You need to be vulnerable with women. You need to be honest. You need to be like, hey, you know what? I'm having a really hard day. I'm sorry I'm a little off. Right? That's a lot better than just ignoring me and pretending like nothing's going on. Because again, that just shows that you don't value my time and you don't value me. So on to my last point. Do things for her without expecting anything in return. For those of you who haven't heard of nice guy syndrome, it's where a guy does things in order to get something. And this is extremely unattractive to women. If you're constantly doing things for her to get something, you're never actually doing anything for her. You're doing it for yourself. For instance, if a guy buys me flowers in order to make me like him and hopefully get in my bed with me, he's not buying flowers for me. He's buying flowers in hopes that he gets something in turn for it. And that's not healthy. That's not going to set up a healthy relationship. So how should you show up? If you want something from her, how do you express that? It's okay to have urges and have needs. What's not okay is to push her to do things, to push her to go forward before she's ready to. All right, you need to both be setting the pace together. You need to both be comfortable with that pace, and you need to communicate exactly what you want. And if she doesn't want those same things, then you need to find someone else. If you're not willing to meet, you shouldn't just hide all these things about yourself and hope it works out. Being vulnerable and communicating what you actually want is going to help a lot. What isn't going to help the situation is to run the show with your ego. So I've already made a point about how the wallflower is not going to attract a woman, but neither is the egoic maniac. If you show up in all the wrong ways, you make her feel unsafe, you make her feel insecure, you're always putting her down, you're never listening to a thing she says, you're worse than the wallflower. Even if you can get a girl's attention, the relationship's not going to last. It's important that you show up in a healthy manner for yourself and for her. Because as a man, it is your job to make the women in your life, the women around you, feel safe and secure. And if you don't know how to do that, you have a lot to learn about being a man. And this video is not meant to insult people. It's meant to bring awareness on the fact that men and women should be treated equal, but differently. We should be treated as equal value. We're both equally valuable, but in different ways. Like, for instance, you eat an orange for the vitamin C, and you eat, let's say, quinoa for the protein. Both of those things are super valuable, but for different things, for different nutrients. And women and men are the same way. We're both equally valuable, but we have different skill sets, different needs. And I'm making this video because I've seen a lot of men show up in my life in the wrong way. And I think a lot of men don't realize how easy it is for them to scare a woman, how easy it is for them to make a woman feel unsafe. And my main message in this video is that if you want women in your life, if you want to attract women to you, the number one thing you got to do is show up in the protector energy, in the protector mentality. You need to make it your mission to make her feel safe, to make her feel stable. Now, that doesn't mean that you should allow women to treat you poorly. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you want to attract healthy, good relationships with women, you got to start by being the healthy part in the relationship, right? Don't give your energy to the women who aren't respecting it. But it is your job to bring that stability, to bring that protection, to bring that level of safety. And when you do, you will see a world of a difference. And the men in my life who make me feel safe, I have great, healthy, loving relationships with them because of that key factor. And I guarantee you that if you put more of an effort towards the stability and the safety and the protection, you're going to notice a world of a difference. Now, thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that it helps, and I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing day.